good afternoon to all our viewers watching us here on LTV International. Welcome to our special coverage of the presidential activity for today. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi on Monday asserted that the state is making utmost efforts to control prices and to ensure stability of fuel and energy prices amid global rising food prices. Inaugurating a dairy and livestock production complex project in Sadat City in Minofia Governorate, President el-Sisi added that despite the rising cost of electrical power generation, the state is postponing a rise of power prices for the citizens. The president said that the newly opened livestock production projects help to avoid a jump of foodstuff prices, adding that the state aims at doubling meat production within 6 months. President el-Sisi said that the state is undergoing a wide-ranging enhancement process that needs high production rates, adding that the state always welcomes the participation of the private sector in all investment fields. The president also pointed out that the Ministry of Agriculture is working with the civil society organizations towards a better governance and an increase in livestock production. President el-Sisi urged small breeding industries to increase livestock and dairy production and called for launching a program by non-governmental organizations to increase these products. President el-Sisi also assured the citizens, saying that all state-sponsored projects aim at achieving community satisfaction and stability, and that the citizen is at the core of all state efforts. The president extended thanks to the local wheat suppliers, adding that the state is striving to increase wheat and grain reserves up to 9 months. President el-Sisi also said that the state is working hard to achieve a gross domestic product in 2-digit trillions of pounds. The livestock and dairy production complex in Sadat City included automatic slaughterhouses. Its production capacity is 1.5 tons of fresh meat per production round. On the sidelines of the complex inauguration, the president opened via video conference several livestock projects nationwide, including a complex in Nubaria, another in the New Valley Governorate, and an automatic slaughterhouse in Safaga, the Red Sea Governorate. Following the inauguration ceremony, President el-Sisi inspected the livestock production complex and the affiliated training and scientific research center. During the tour that also included the center's labs, the president listened to detailed explanation over its activities.
يبدأ في المحافظة الشرقية عند طريق الإسماعيلية الزراعي مرورا بمحافظتي القليوبية ثم القاهرة ثم الجيزة وينتهي عند محور الضبعة بغرب التقاطع طريق القاهرة الإسكندرية الصحراوي بمسافة 8
كلف المشروع هيتكلف تقريبا 360 مليار جنيه خلال سنتين. هيتعمل طبقا لأقصى المعايير العلمية والتكنولوجية والفنية في كل شيء.
Addressing the opening ceremony, Minister of Agriculture and Land Reclamation, As-Sayed Al-Qusir, said that livestock resources development has been facing several challenges, including limited natural pasture areas in Egypt. The minister added that the Agriculture Ministry sought to improve local breeds and dairy production centers through improving the efficiency of veterinary units and the provision of needed vaccines. During the ceremony, the Director General of the Armed Forces National Service Project Agency, Major General Walid Abul Magd, said that the agency has established modern agricultural projects under President el-Sisi, constant directives to ensure sustainable food security.
وشك الانهيار ووشك الضياع، والشعب كان فاقد الامل والثقه في مستقبل افضل، وكان لابد من اعاده بناء الانطباع لدى المصريين. بعد 5 سنين بفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى وبفضل شعب مصر وتضحياته، احنا في موقف ووضع تاني خالص.
دائما برامج الإصلاح الاقتصادي برامج بتحتاج إلى رؤية سياسية وإرادة سياسية كبيرة وعزيمة شعب إن احنا ننفذ هذه الإجراءات.
أي حكومة لما بتتعامل مع قضايا شديدة الأهمية بتخضع في الاعتبار رد الفعل.
مفيش إصلاح حقيقي من غير تكلفة، عشان كده مصر وهي بتضع برنامج الإصلاح في وقتها يمكن وضعت أكبر حزمة اجتماعية في تاريخها، لأن احنا عارفين إنه الحماية الاجتماعية الحقيقية هي توفير فرص العمل.
كام مليون بيشتغل في كل مشاريع الدولة من أقصى الصعيد لغاية اسكندرية، ما يقلش عن 5 مليون.
احنا وفرنا تقريبا في حدود 900 ألف فرصة عمل سنويا، ودي الحماية الاجتماعية الحقيقية اللي فعلا بنوفرها للمواطن.
هو ده اللي مخلي المواطن النهاردة عنده أمل ويتحمل ويتقبل أي إجراءات إصلاحية، لأنه شايف النهاردة في أمل.
رد فعلكم على الإصلاح الاقتصادي كان محل تقدير واحترام شديد ليا، كان شرف ليا، تحملكم شرف.
المؤسسات الدولية الكبيرة كلها هي اللي بتقول إن مصر النهاردة نموذج نجاح لكل العالم.
ثقة فيكم انتوا، ثقة في الوعي وفي إرادة التغيير اللي موجودة في شعب مصر اللي هو استحمل.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and to shed more light on this very important event, we are very much delighted to have with us here over the phone Dr. Mustafa Tamam, economic expert. A very good morning, good afternoon to you, Dr. Tamam.
Good afternoon.
Now, Dr. Tamam, what is the significance of this integrated animal and dairy production complex in your own opinion?
Certainly, this gives a very important message to the Egyptian community and to the worldwide community that Egypt is progressing and is giving a lot of thrust to mega projects, and certainly this is magnified by the President opening and celebrating a lot of new projects that take place nowadays.
Yes. Doctor, the state is keen to boost the agricultural sector. Would you shed more light on the incentives that the state is providing for farmers?
Certainly, there are a lot of incentives provided. First one will be a lot of financial facilities in order to be able to manage their projects. Second is the availability of a lot of byproducts are used by the agricultural sector that are necessary in order to improve our agricultural sector, and the government gives a lot of emphasis in order to make sure that all products necessary for the development of the agricultural sector are available.
Dr. Tamam, earlier in May, the President attended a ceremony to inaugurate Egypt's future project for agricultural production in Dab'a, Road al-Farag Road. Now, how far would these projects help the country to achieve self-sufficiency in wheat storage?
Well, these projects are quite important, but the main thing is that we should keep momentum in order that these projects will continue, that they're not going to stop for any reason or by. So certainly, probably it will be very important to eliminate any obstacles that might face these projects, because definitely there will be certain obstacles that might cause a delay or in a certain phase in the project, and certainly the government should be aware, and there should be a follow-up mechanism in order to ensure that these projects are going according to plans.
Yes. Now, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi made very important remarks today as he asserted that the state is making utmost efforts to control prices and to ensure stability of fuel and energy prices amid global rising food prices. And during the inauguration of the dairy and livestock production complex in Sadat, the president added...
Certainly, this is a very, very important point.
Yes.
And probably not a lot of emphasis have been given in the past to these factors that you just mentioned now.
Yes.
Again, certainly now we are in a transitional phase, and probably the methodology will be that we have to have trained people, human resources, in order that these projects will be able to continue. So certainly this is a very important aspect in the in what we're mentioning now.
Yes. Also, Dr. Tamim, the president, as he opened the livestock production projects, he said that the projects would help avoid a jump of foodstuff prices and that the state aims at doubling meat production within 6 months. How do you read these remarks?
Well, certainly this could be achieved, but again, there should be a follow-up mechanism and there should be a methodology in order to eliminate any obstacles that might encounter the application and the follow-up of these projects. This is a very important point because, as we mentioned, definitely there will be certain obstacles, and probably the government should be taking steps in order to eliminate them and in order to reach also the objectives of these projects.
Yes. Another important point, Dr. Tamim, was raised by President el-Sisi today when he talked about the role of the civil society organizations. The President pointed out that the Ministry of Agriculture is working with the civil society organizations towards a better governance and an increase in livestock production, and urged small breeding industries to increase livestock and dairy production, called for launching a program by the non-governmental organizations or the civil society to increase these products. How do you see the role of the civil society in this regard?
Well, this is a very important point that you raised. Actually, I would like to add to what you just mentioned now, that the President has emphasis that cooperation should be made also with the private sector, not only for non-governmental organizations, but specifically with the private sector, which has a lot of expertise and technology in order to assist in erecting and follow up and implementing of these projects. This certainly will not take place only in the agricultural sector. In a lot of sectors, it has been mentioned that this will be applied on cooperation between the private and the public sector.
Yes. Another important point I guess we need to discuss, Dr. Tamim, is how the President addressed the citizens directly and assured the citizens that all the state-sponsored projects aim at achieving community satisfaction and stability, and that the citizen is at the core of all state efforts. The fact that the President is directly approaching or addressing the citizens and telling them the significance or the point of inaugurating all these projects, how do you see that?
Well, certainly this is also a very important point because it gives probably positive reinforcement and encouragement that these projects will succeed. So there's a sort of transparency and gives a lot of hope to the citizens that if these projects probably will succeed, will have a positive effect on them, on each citizen individually, and on the economy as a whole, in a lot of aspects, in the aspects of employment, in the aspects of the price structure of a lot of products which are rising dramatically. So certainly the communication between the President and the citizens is very important in order to give thrust to these projects and success.
Yes. I'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Mustafa Tamim, economic expert. Thank you very much for shedding light on the importance of inaugurating these projects. Very valuable input indeed. And this actually brings us to the end of this hour's coverage. I'll leave you now with a special report about Egypt's efforts, or the state's efforts in terms of the animal production and the dairy products, and how Egypt achieved a leap according to the latest statistics.